Hello, Uncle Ted, your ice cream alchemist with ice cream every day, and this is chocolate banana coconut. This was a request from my big sis Lavern, and her wish is my command. I was really happy with how this turned out. The eggs added a lot of richness, but the coconut cream not only added flavor, it helped the scoopability. All in all, I'd call this one a success. Okay, so let's get started. First, I used 1 whole egg and 4 egg yolks. I set these out for a few minutes so they were room temperature. Remember to keep those egg whites because there's a ton of stuff you can do with them. I plan on trying my hand at a pavlova soon. Now, into a plastic container, I add 3/4 of a cup of sugar and a pinch of guar gum. That'll help absorb moisture. Then I put the lid on and I give it the old shake-a-shake-a. Once I'm beating the egg yolks, I'll add the sugar a bit at a time. This way I don't get clumps. Usually I'll break that sugar up into 3 or 4 additions. It just makes things easier that way. Now note how the color of the eggs change into an off-white. We're going to beat this until it's almost at ribbon stage, but not quite. Ribbon stage, if you're curious, is when you lift the whisk out of the eggs and it runs back down, back into the eggs, and it doesn't quite sink in right away, leaving behind a ribbon for a few seconds. It's really just a sign that you've properly mixed the sugar with the protein. For our dairy, we heat up 2 cups of heavy cream and 1 cup of whole milk. As always, we start slowly on medium-low. To the dairy, we add 1/2 cup of dry non-fat milk. This will also help with scoopability and absorb extra moisture, giving us a creamier texture. Once the dairy is warm, but not too hot to put a finger in, I add 2 tablespoons of good powdered cocoa. I'm using Hershey, but any kind of good cocoa will do. Then mix that in with a whisk, scraping the sides and bottom as you go. Once the dairy is hot, I add 3 ounces of chopped unsweetened chocolate, and I whisk that in, constantly stirring so it doesn't burn or scorch, and doing so until it completely melts. This will take more time than milk chocolate, so keep on it and don't let it burn on you. Make sure your whisk is constantly scraping the bottom, and if it's still not getting very hot, you can creep the heat up a little bit, but be careful because this can boil and get away from you real quick. When it's reduced and everything is well combined, it's time to temper the eggs. Get the eggs moving with your mixer first, and then add just 1/4 of a cup. Give it a good mix for a few seconds, and then add another 1/2 cup, again mixing it for a few seconds, before adding a little more. We're slowly bringing the temperature of the eggs up so the eggs don't cook and scramble. Nobody likes scrambled eggs in their ice cream. And one of these days I'll figure out a better camera angle for this so you guys have a better view. Once you've got the eggs tempered, pour them back into your sauce pot and put it back on the stove, cooking it on medium heat. I'm using my candy thermometer while stirring so it doesn't stick or scorch. We need to get it up to 165 degrees and hold it there for 60 seconds to kill off any cooties that might still be in the eggs. Once you pull it off the heat, set a strainer over your container and pour the base through that strainer to strain out any bits of egg that's scrambled. If you were slow with the tempering, there won't be much, like in this case, but it was thick, so I had to use a spatula and work it back and forth to get it all through. Be patient doing this so you don't spill or make a mess. We worked hard on this base, and spilling it would be a terrible waste. Oh, and kitchen tip. Clean that strainer first. Trust me on this, if it cools, it's a pain to clean afterwards. Next, we add 1 cup of the brown sugar banana mixture I taught you how to use in a previous video. That'll be in the comments section, along with a cup of coconut cream. The base is still really hot, and adding this will not only help it cool off, it'll help keep the flavors more crisp instead of cooking them in the base. Once you're done, you have a nice base ready to put in the fridge overnight or for at least 12 hours. This time is needed for the proteins to do their magic. After 12 hours, this base will thicken up a great deal. Don't worry, it'll still churn in the ice cream maker according to the manufacturer's instructions. And when it's doing that, I add 3/4 of a cup of coconut. You can use toasted coconut if you have it. I didn't, and it still turned out awesome. Really, this ice cream was thick, rich, with great flavor. The banana wasn't overpowering, and neither was the coconut. The balance was perfect. Even the chocolate was just right. This was one of the better ice creams I've ever made. Folks, thanks for watching, and please click like and subscribe. And as always, if you're not eating ice cream for breakfast, then what's the point of being an adult?